How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. Started. Why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Plugging in software here, chat. Give me a second. Or hardware, sir. I'm plugging in hardware so I can use my software. Give me a second. Boot up. There we go. Now I should be able to switch. Or not. There we go. There we go. Now we're able to switch, turn down the music, and you can't see me at all. That's awesome. So let me fix that one. Let me fix unprepared today, chat. Oh, you can't even see me. You can't see me, son. You can't see me. I'm John Cena. Before I get the time is before I get absolutely demonetized for even voicing that song. You know how YouTube works these days in mysterious ways. How you guys been? Today, man, was an awesome day on the market. There were so many opportunities. I mean, Tesla, what a run on Tesla today. It made you work for that long, but you know, a couple of my scanners picked up that long way earlier before the all-time high breakout. You know, Google had a monster run. QQQ as a whole basket, the top 7 stocks in QQQ all had a good day today. Most of them broke out to a new all-time high. Insane rally. Everything but Nvidia and Microsoft basically went absolutely bonkers. I traded Google, I traded SoundHound, I traded a lot of stocks. Okay, I traded a lot of stocks. Roblox 60 breakout was good today. I mean, there were just so many opportunities if you were watching for it every single day. That seems to be the story. The market's just so frothy right now that it is time to strap in your seatbelts. No time to take off from the market. You know, and you are literally trading all day. You can find opportunities all day right now. It's insane. Not that it's a good thing, but it's good that there are so many opportunities, because if you did lose money, as long as you're not tilted, if you just put your head down and go to work, there is a good trade right around the corner on the market. So it's awesome. The opportunities have been plentiful, and we hope that it stays that way. We hope that it stays that way. For tonight, I think the watch list is still very active. We got a lot of names to talk about, mainly once again the Mag7, Tesla at a new all-time high. And if you ask me, I think Tesla tomorrow is going to open up a big short opportunity. This is a very overextended on the daily chart going into the all-time high breakout. So tomorrow, looking for a pop and fail on Tesla for us to get short. We can talk about all that and more on the big screen. So let's push over to the main screen, ladies and gentlemen. On the main screen right now, you see me looking at AVGO, because that is a stock that we are interested in to talk about on the watch list. But let's start off with the earnings calendar. We got Adobe, Nordson, and obviously some of the names that reported today. Stitch Fix was a monster long today. That was actually my best name on the day, Stitch Fix. Dave & Buster's didn't really do anything that I wanted it to, didn't trade it. GME didn't do anything I wanted it to. Actually, I did trade GME and it did do something I wanted it to, but I jumped out way too quick and it was a great trade at the end of the day. So GME was a good trade. What else? Stitch Fix was a great trade. So still opportunities over here that could potentially give us a day two play. But starting off with Adobe on the earnings calendar. So we're gonna head to use Benzinga. If you guys are interested in using Benzinga, head over to the description down below. It will give you the links to all of my affiliate sponsors. This right here is the beautiful Benzinga BBW. All right. Reported fourth quarter financial results after the financial I can't read. Fourth quarter revenue 5.61 billion for Adobe, beating estimates of 5.54, and a raise. Okay, they didn't say that. Okay, over here we see it. 11% growth from year to year. Digital media revenue up 12% year to year. Digital experience revenue up 10% year over year. Fourth quarter revenue EPS 4.81 versus 4.66. All things looking good so far. Double-digit growth is always good, in my opinion. I like double-digit growth, and I'm a big Adobe user. Every single thumbnail you see me using is obviously shout out to Adobe because of their awesome AI capabilities. Adobe delivered record 2024 revenue. Anything else regarding the guidance? There we go. Guidance expects first quarter revenue to be in the range of 5.63 to 5.68 versus estimates of 5.73. That is a miss. 4.955 versus 4.95. So low end is basically estimate, and the higher end is a little bit higher than the estimate. So I wouldn't call that a big beat. But the revenue is quite a bit of a miss, at least a little bit of a miss on revenue over there. Adobe expects full year 2025 revenue to be between 23.3 billion to 23.5 billion versus estimates of 23.79. Also a miss on the full year revenue and full year EPS. The stock makes $20 per share a year. Mamma mia. Range, however, the low end is a little bit lower than the estimates, and the high end is also lower than the estimates. So looks like this could potentially take the stock lower. Let's go see how much it dropped at the time of the report. Stock is apparently down 7.5% year to date. However, at the time of the report, the stock dropped an additional 7.5% down to $507 in the after hours, potentially going even lower than that. So let's pull up ADBE. Adobe dropping lower, dropping like it's hot. Clearly down, what was it, 7.5% year to date, and adding another 7.5% move to the south side today, sadly. I want to go check out what the stock's PE is. 46 PE. Okay, I mean, it's not cheap. It's also not expensive, right? It's not cheap, but it's also not expensive. And if we go to Adobe on the daily, the 200-day moving averages are all in these areas. You can see how the 200, the 250, surprisingly the 130 is also in this area, but the moving averages are all in these areas. You'll be fighting a lot of moving averages on the daily, on the long term, which could be a spot where people look to buy dips on this name. So you might want to be careful pressing heavy short, but this is a big move. The guidance is lower, but it's not like doomsday lower, okay? It's not doomsday lower. They're growing 11% year over year. They're making $20 a quarter. Their PE is 40 something. You know, if you ask me, people will look to buy these shares on dips on their long-term portfolios, on their swing accounts, and so on. So for me, I'm not really looking short on this earnings report. However, if the price action screams, Prad, you're an idiot, you're not a financial analyst, which I'm not, right? If the price action screams, Prad, it's not a long at all, and it's a short, and by that I mean, you know, it's holding below 500. Tomorrow pre-market, it actually opens well below 500, and then on pops, it's not able to get above 500. If that's the case, then okay. What can I say at that point? I'm wrong on my theory. I have to go short because the stock is failing to get above 500. As simple as that. But if tomorrow the stock is actually holding above 500, there is no way in hell I'm going to be inclined to shorting this stock. I'm more so going to be looking for dips into 500 or above 500, as close to 500 as I can get, to look for the longs on ADBE. So mainly bullish bias, looking for dips to get long into. The lower the stock goes in the pre-market, the better for me. So we got 475, which is last month's low. I'm not saying you can expect it to go all the way there and open in pre-market, but if it does, trust me, it's a very good long from that level. Actually, let's go check out bar charts. What does the put call wall say? ADBE. Put call wall, where are we? So stock closed here. 490 seems to be the next big spot where puts were loaded up into. Obviously 500 was a little big, but 490 is bigger. So if the stock holds 490 and reclaims 490 and 500 areas, look, I'm telling you, that's a great long over there setting up on ADBE. So overall bias is long. Bias long, watching dips to get long, but if stock is not able to get back above 500, could look short. Could look short. All right, and that is in my notes. That is in my notes. That is in my notes. And I think Adobe, I'll give it a pretty high priority tomorrow. We'll give it purple priority, pretty high priority. Next stock on the watch list. I'm not sure if this one has enough volume for a day trade. It does not. NDSN Nordson. But if I remember correctly, on earnings days, does it bring volume? Does it give you a move? Looks like on this day over here, kind of broke out. That was the earnings. So looks like they reported pre-market, and then the next day it gave you a big volume candle, and also a move intraday to the upside. So right now, you know, I'm not too interested to trade this name. I'll be honest with you. Look at the amount of back and forth and choppiness the stock has had for months on end now. So I'm not too keen on trading NDSN at all. So let's go to some of the stocks that reported earnings today. Let's go to GME, which gave you a wonderful opening range breakout. If you were looking to get long GME, you can see how GME actually opened, ran above yesterday's high, held above yesterday's high, a little bit lower than yesterday's high, yes, for sure, but held above yesterday's high for the most part, and then gave you an opening range breakout. On the pullback to that breakout, it held on that pullback and gave you a nice $1 clean move for very little risk. Gave you a clean $1 move to $30, and then double topped into 30 and sold off. I think if this stock gets above 30 tomorrow, you can forget this 32 area that we were talking about a couple days ago. This stock could easily blast off, but the report wasn't amazing. They missed they're not growing year over year, right? They're not talking about how they're going to use their $4 billion reserves sitting in the bank. So nothing tells me that you know, this is scream long fundamentally, but except the fact that you know, we know how crazy things can get on names like GME. So if GME does want to go a little wild, you would have to get above 30 for me and show buying above 30. And if that's the case, I think easy long into 32. You get a $2 move for risking very little on the breakout above 30, and then once it gets to 32, you have to make new decisions. Is it holding above 32? Are there buyers above 32? Are there sellers into 32? What kind of patterns are the stock is the stock creating? So you have to kind of look at all different variables once we get above 30 into 32, which I should probably put in my notes too. If stock can find buying above 30, I think could look for a move to 32 and then flip short if sets up right, because I don't think it should get above 32, but if it does, you know, I want to be involved with it. I want to be very involved with it. Stitch Fix, the money trade. We talked about this trade yesterday on stream, if you guys remember. Stitch Fix, the money trade, awesome long. Oh wow. So look at this, actually moved a little bit higher in pre-market compared to the after hours. Sold off the open after actually making a big run. Made the run to the north side, trapped all the longs, but then held the after hour lows, held the pre-market lows, and didn't really sell off below $5 at all. So right in this area is where I started loading up my long. I added on the reclaim of VWAP, I added on the breakout of today's high, and then I just basically covered at the top of the day. Then on the pullback, I got back into my trade, and then I covered again at the high of the day. So beautiful long on Stitch Fix today. My best trade of the day was so focused, zoomed in, and in the flow state when I was trading the stock. So opportunity was great. Monster trading opportunity. So I'll be watching this one tomorrow for sure. You can see how the earnings anchored VWAP, today's VWAP, and the daily level that I have marked off, which is around $6. All of them right around the same zone, from $6.50 to $6. So if the stock can dip in, now that's a 50-cent range for a stock that's ATR is 40 cents. So, you know, I'm giving it way more respect than the stock deserves. Granted, today was more than a 40-cent range, but however, the normal ATR of the stock is 40 cents. Today's ATR was a little bit more because of the bigger catalyst of the stock, which is a growth stock, kind of maybe turning the corner and so on. And surprisingly enough, one of the YouTube videos I was watching today, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, the video dropped, and they are sponsoring, they're sponsoring the video. Stitch Fix was actually sponsoring the video, and they reported earnings today. How that's a pretty crazy, and that was my #1 stock. Pretty crazy. But yeah, go check out Rotten Mango, amazing YouTube channel. They talk about murder mysteries and all kinds of, you know, crazy, wacky shit. So I love listening to Rotten Mango when I'm creating a watch list for you guys, for myself, when I'm creating a watch list and when I'm creating a thumbnail and so on. I like having something in the background, and when Rotten Mango posts something, that's the first thing I have thrown up on there. So, you know, amazing channel. You should go check them out for sure. Coming back to the stock market, however, Stitch Fix monster move today. $7 looked like it was about to break out, but it didn't. So on the dips, if 650 holds, I'll be looking to get long into 650. But if the stock goes to $6 instead, I think it's a way better long. But sadly, expecting a move back into 7 might not be playing out. So it ideally would have to hold 650 on the dip, so it could make the move into 7, and then a potential breakout of 7 for an even bigger move. So a couple things needs to align for that move back into 7. However, if the stock is already opening above 7 tomorrow in the pre-market, that could be you know, maybe a little overextended. You might want to be careful looking for an extreme long above $7. If it sets up and the stock is holding above 7 for like 30 minutes or something, then yeah, whatever, go for the opening range breakout or go for the long above 7. Nothing wrong with that. But if the stock is, you know, just barely holding 7 for 5 minutes off the open or something, I wouldn't call that a good long setup just yet. I would want to see a little bit more, because how the stock kind of got into this area. If it dips into 650, then a move to 7, easy trade. If it dips to 6, a move to 650, easy trade. A move to 7, a little bit of a harder trade, but if it plays out, you know, we're partying with it, we're playing with it. So those are the great scenarios that I want to keep an eye out for. PLAY didn't actually do what I wanted to do, but it did do what I wanted to do. It did go to $29. Ah, shucks. But that was so late in the day, though. I guess I would not have caught that. Fucking play. It did give you an opening range breakdown much later in the day. It broke down at 2 o'clock with a little bit of a volume spike, giving you that opening range breakdown from like what, $30.50 for a move down into $29, going right into close. Maybe I can write that ticker down as a symbol to put in my notes. I'll do it. Why not? It won't take too long. PLAY opening range breakdown. But sadly, that's not the open. That's way later than the opening range. That's, I guess you could just call it low a day breakdown or something. I don't know. I'll think about it when I'm typing out my notes tonight after stream. PLAY making a nice move down to $29. I guess the play here, the play on play would need to be, the stock needs to maybe get below 29 and stay below 29. But if you look at that daily level right there, I mean, that is a monster level, right? So ideally, from what I've seen in the past, the stock holds this level and doesn't really get below it. But if it does, if you start seeing weakness below 29, then you know, it's all hell breaks loose on the stock. I think you can look for an easy short. But if the stock reclaims 30 tomorrow, there could be also an easy long. 29 to 30 could be a range for you to play with. The stock's ATR is $2.30, so potentially you could get a move to 31 from 29 tomorrow. So I would like to see if 29 gives you a good long. 29 area is a multi-year support. If stock gets below this, could look short, but really need selling below 29 for me. Right, boom, multi-year support. You can see how it goes all the way back to 2021. August 2021 is what we got as the 29 area support, which is actually insane if you ask me. Insane. Multi-year support on Dave and Buster's play. AI had a big reject candle today. If you kind of think about what happened yesterday, today's candle was a complete opposite, and we are right back into this box at the moment. So for me, AI is in play if it can push into $35, $36 and then show me weakness below or show me strength above, or we push back into 40 bucks and show me strength above or weakness below. So until it does something like that, I am not interested to make a decision at all. And you can see how today it actually popped into 40 and then sold off from 40, closed at 38.18. So that was a short opportunity right there that I'm talking about. And you can see how that short actually set up multiple times in the day, once, twice, 3 times, where you were able to catch that short on C3 AI. At the moment, just boxed out, let it be boxed out. If it actually can manage to get above 40 and stay above 40, I'll be interested. If it can get into 35 and stay above 35, I'll be interested. If it can get into 35 and stay below 35, I'll be interested. Just wait for the edges. Don't care about what the stock does in between. Okay, Oracle, Roracle. I always call it Roracle, but and that's hence why I'm typing R in there. Okay, surprisingly enough, Oracle popped into 182, but then right back into that purple box that we were talking about yesterday, and managed to kind of have a little bit of trading in that zone too. I like it, but not any trade decision worthy of an opportunity if you ask me, and I don't think I'm going to be trading this tomorrow. So moving on. MongoDB. Little bit of a bounce today. Did not manage to stay above 300 though. You got above 300. Did not manage to stay above 300. Oh, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Maybe tomorrow you can get above 300. I'm not sure if I'm going to trade it. Oh wow, MongoDB actually rejected yesterday's VWAP perfectly. Today's high was exactly yesterday's VWAP. Alright, guess it was adding another stock to his write-up. Day 2 of earnings rejected day 1 VWAP. That is beautiful. So I guess that's your answer right there. If the stock can get above 305, got along. If the stock can't get above 305, you don't got along. It's pretty simple right there. And if I remember correctly, the stock's earnings report was actually not bad. Not bad. They were also guiding higher. So if you can get above 305, I'll keep an eye on it. If not, then you know it's sayonara for the ticker sadly, as a long at least, but you can potentially keep an eye on it for a short. Remember that the stock's volume is going to be lower after earnings days, so the spread is going to be even worse after earnings day. So just keep that in the back of your head while you're potentially looking to trade MongoDB. Palantir bouncing perfectly off the 68 area that I talked about yesterday, right? I said I don't want to put 70 in my notes. I don't want to put 70 in my notes because it's gonna blow right through 70, but I still caved for chat. I mean, you guys didn't make me cave, but I still caved in for chat just because of, you know, human psychology. I think 70 has importance, but I said 68. That's the level. 68. Boom, Prastradamus strikes again. And yesterday I called out Tesla will have a top of 420.69, and for almost what, 30 minutes that was true. For almost 30 minutes, Tesla's top today was 420.69, and I nailed it. Prastradamus, baby, come on. You know, when I stop streaming, this is what you're gonna miss out on. This is what you're gonna miss out on, which is having absolute crystal balls. Future is you know, known to me. I know everything. Only thing I know is I know everything. All right, I'll stop being cringy. But boy oh boy, monster callouts today. I was just in my flow state. So Palantir 68, good hold. Good hold if you ask me. That would be considered a hammer backside, right? So that was a hammer, you got another hammer. So any weakness at the moment on Palantir absolutely nullified, and if you actually look at the chart on the 5-minute, it reclaimed today's VWAP. Today's VWAP is actually was right around $70, right? It was holding below 70 really well, and then it got back above 70 and pivoted for a beautiful long that gave you what, $3 for risking very little. So good long opportunity right there on Palantir if you were watching for it. I was watching, but I didn't trade it, sadly. So tomorrow, any dips back into 70, 71. Wow, today's VWAP is actually yesterday's low. Coinkydink. And then today's high was yesterday's VWAP. That's insane how these mathematical equations work out like that. Today's high is yesterday's VWAP. Today's VWAP is yesterday's low. I love it when things like this work out on the stock market and on charts. It's just magical. It makes things so much easier because you got now extra confluence. So if stock gets above 73 and holds above 73 on dips, easy long. If stock gets into 71 and holds into 71, easy long. If it starts to find weakness around 73, easy short. If it finds weakness below 71, easy short back into 68 and for a bigger move down. So you got just ranges that you can play off of, if you ask me, honestly. Opportunities just amazing at the moment. 71, 73, I'll keep an eye on to see how the stock plays in pre-market, and I'll potentially, well, not potentially, I will have to revamp my levels based on how the stock is trading. Might have to put 73 as a support because the stock is actually above 73 in the pre-market and holding above 73, or might have to use 71 as resistance because it's below 71 and it's holding below 71 as a resistance. So depends on what the market does or stock does in the pre-market. Might have to change a little bit of my notes over there. SOUN, beautiful short opportunity, but even this one started reversing back into the close. Ugly. But I mean, I made a good trade on it. I'm not going to, you know, be too upset on that pop and reject. I got short right back into low a day, another pop and reject into VWAP, another pop and reject into VWAP, and then I tried again on this area. That one I lost, but still profitable on the ticker if I remember correctly. So Soundhound, oh my goodness, my throat. Soundhound, very interested to see how. Can I move this to the other side? Guess I can't because this one's this and that one's that, huh? Anyways, Soundhound, you know, it does not look like the backside's opening up just yet on this name. It would really need to find selling under 13. However, today's low was a little bit below 13, but the stock needs to really find selling below 13 for me to think that the backside is opening up. At the moment, we can use 15 as the high because, you know, yeah, I was using 16 as the high, but I'm gonna bring down the level on watch down to 15 at the moment. RBLX broke above 60 but did not manage to stay above 60 going into the close. So it's a under over 60. You're basically watching how the stock plays out. If it can stay above 60 tomorrow, I think you got an easy long. You can see how today's VWAP is right around 60 also. So if it opens up higher, runs up in the pre-market, and then pulls back off the open as a dip buy into 61, into $60, I'll be watching to see how the stock plays out. For the moment, I'll put 60 as the support. But if the stock is opening below 60, then I'm not interested in a long at all. I'm just not interested in a long at all on Roblox. PayPal managing to push back into 90, but or 91. Okay, PayPal managing to get back into the higher ranges over here. So shout out to PayPal. Now the question is, can it manage to stay above in the higher ranges and not pull back the way it did on the day of upgrade that it got? So if PayPal wants to stay above 90 and use 90 as a support, then I'm okay with looking for a long, but it really needs to hold above 90. For now, I'm going to put it as 90 as, maybe I won't put 90 as a support. I'll put 90 as an infliction levels because that would make more sense. If stock can hold above 90, look long on dips. Okay. Lululemon. Volume really dying down on Lululemon. Maybe not really worthy of a trade to keep an eye on, but holding really well in this area, 395 to 400. At the moment, it's holding pretty well. So I think if volume comes in and the stock manages to get above 410, what's stopping it to go for another run to 420, 430 or higher? So watching 410, watching 395 to 400 on the downside, watching 410 to the upside, and seeing if the stock can have a little bit of a blast off. If it has volume, if it does not have volume, then I'm not really interested. Priority the lowest for Lulu. Unless volume comes in, then the priority is the highest. So watching how that one sets up. MicroStrategy with a nice little pop. Obviously Bitcoin back above 100k, so MicroStrategy with the pop if you were looking for the longs on that one. Coinbase gave you a good long today too, but I instead was looking at IBIT. That one gave me a long opportunity on IBIT. Even gave you a perfect dip buy into VWAP, continuation long. Right as Bitcoin sold off from 101,500 and moved back into 100k, 99,800 something. Big IBIT obviously pulled back along with it, which exactly was VWAP, which exactly was last month's high, and then bounced right back and held that area and gave you a beautiful long right back as Bitcoin started moving higher also. So good opportunities across the board. Like I said, all you have to do is watch Bitcoin and then just mimic the trade on IBIT. It's a very simple strategy, and I did so on IBIT, and I captured the long on the VWAP continuation. So things can be as easy or as hard as you want to make it on the market, right? Sometimes you just in the flow state though, like me, and then sometimes you're also tilted like me. And when you're tilted, you got to make sure that you know, you're managing your damages, you're managing your hits, not getting blown out of proportion, not giving back 3-4 good days in one red day because you're so tilted. So you got to be able to you know, manage that part of yourself. Robinhood looking a little weak, but not too interested as a day trade. Maybe if it gets back above 40, I'll look for it as a trade, but right now I'm not too keen on trading Robinhood. I'm not even sure why I have that on my watch list. Square getting ready for a nice breakout, so set your alerts and get ready for a fun opportunity on SQ over here. SQ 99 to 99.50, I guess 99.30. 99 to 99.30. I won't make that joke. I won't make that joke. I won't make that joke. I won't make it. So 99 to 99.30 over here. Square getting ready for a potential breakout. Perfect flag almost, consolidation, whatever you want to call it, right? If you don't want to call this a bull flag, call it a consolidation rectangle breakout. If you get that rectangle breakout, obviously this is related to Bitcoin at the same time. So with Bitcoin back above 100k, I think Square is a wonderful candidate, and that's why Robinhood is kind of in the watch list also. It's in the same spot as all of the what do you call them, all the cryptocurrency stocks. So Robinhood on the watch list. I most likely won't trade it. I most likely will trade IBIT or some of the other MicroStrategy, Coinbase or something when I want to trade Bitcoin. But Square will be a special candidate tomorrow if it can actually break out of 99. I think this one easily goes through 100. You know, expect this one to go to 103, 104, 105 tomorrow easily with the breakout above to the north side. A little bit of a spike on volume today compared to yesterday, but still not into the 20-day moving average. So we really want to see R-vol, multiple relative volumes coming in for us to be interested. Uber coming to downside even more, just can't catch a break, but now because of GM. So Uber getting sold off thanks to GM apparently entering the robo taxi space, trying to compete with Tesla, I guess. So Uber, obviously, the more robo-taxi companies out there, the less money and more competition for Uber. So Uber has been taking a nosedive ever since. Rest in peace to all the poor souls who bought Uber in these high price ranges. And now we're seeing how the stock will react potentially to $57. You can look at Uber as today as a day one again. And if you kind of study what happened on December 5th on Uber, if you study what happened on December 5th on Uber, that was December 5th. The next day, look how the stock just rejected previous day VWAP perfectly, right? Rejected previous day VWAP perfectly and gave you two opportunities to go short. One right there and one right there. You might not be able to see it too well because, you know, you guys are blind here. So rejected yesterday's VWAP perfectly. Yesterday's VWAP again and then sold off. So expect a very similar setup. Today, day one. Tomorrow, day two. It might not have a big enough day two candle. You can see how the day two candle is little. But even then, the top to down range is probably $3-4. Where if you're playing it right, if you're waiting for the pop and failure, that is the perfect entry. You're not risking more than $1, more than maybe $1.50 depending on how late you enter. The stock has a $2.40 ATR, so maybe honestly you're not risking more than 50 cents if you are entering right and waiting for the pop into today's VWAP, and then once it rejects into today's VWAP, you just enjoy the ride to the south side. Enjoy the ride. Ooh, I'm a rapper now. Okay. Wait for pop into yesterday's VWAP and look for rejects to get short. So watching how Uber sets up, I might have to set an alert into today's VWAP. Stock actually popped already in the after hours. That's not what is a good setup, sadly. So it's not a good setup anymore right now, sadly, because it popped up. But I'll still be watching for it to show me rejection below here. A little bit of a pop in the after hours. Okay, you got a little pep in your step over there, Uber. So watching how the stock reacts. Maybe I just delete my sentence now because it already popped above. You know, ideally you want to see the stock staying below today's VWAP, not reclaiming today's VWAP and then popping up in the after hours. That kind of changes the whole scenario that I was talking about. Because for example, look at what happened on December 5th, right? This is December 5th. The stock sold off and it was closing in the low of day, and even in the after hour pop, or sorry, pre-market pop and the after hour pop, it was well below the VWAP of that day. So ideally that's the situation you want to see. That was not the same situation. However, the volume to the downside was very equivalent to that same down day, to the December 5th down day. So a little bit of similar situations on one side of the coin and you know, the other side and so on. If Uber can pop into this day's low, into this range low, I think that's a best short opportunity right there. 64, let's see if it comes into play. I'll still keep an eye on 62, which was today's VWAP. 62, I'll use it as an inflection level instead, and then the very easy level 60. If 60 breaks on Uber, you can kiss this stock goodbye. I think easy 57, 55 coming into play on Uber, not in one day, in multiple days obviously. So watch how Uber plays out. Today was a big down day. The gates of hell, I guess, you know, the floodgates are opening. The buyers are looking for exits as soon as they can, and this stock is looking very, very bad at the moment for the long side. So looking for shorts on pops, and that's the only setup. Looking for shorts on pops until stock reclaims 64. Okay. IonQ had a good long today actually, and bounced right off of that very same low. So I'm just gonna mark that low now, because that's the important level right there. So bounce exactly off of that low. 28 on IonQ, holding again, and gave you an okay long. But if IonQ gets below 28 tomorrow, that is short, immediate short. You're not even thinking twice about it. If it pops back into today's VWAP, which was around $30, I guess it just kind of traded back and forth. So today's VWAP is not as important really. I just traded very back and forth today. yeah, today's VWAP not as important. So for me, 28. Either you hold a 28 under, over 28, period. Either you hold 28 or you fail. RGTI. This is a name that is extremely overextended on the daily. Yeah, it is tied to the quantum computing space, but let me show you another name that was also tied to quantum computing, if I remember correctly, and look what's happened to this. Let me show you another name that's tied to quantum computing, and look what's happening to this space. Let me show you another stock that's tied to quantum computing, and let me show you what's happening to this space. Right, so you know, RGTI dislocating itself, going crazy, going bonkers, and you know, extremely overextended on the daily chart. So looking for a short tomorrow. This $8 area seems to be a little bit of a barrier at the moment. Today's VWAP will be indicative. If the stock can get below today's VWAP and stay below today's VWAP and any pops, that's going to be a good short opportunity. So that's the inflection level right there, $7. Today's high resistance 8, today's low 6. Bang, 6, 7, 8. You got a clean dollar level coming into play. Looking for mean reversion short on stock. Extremely overextended while sector looking like it will sell off. Ion Q for the breakdown. QUBT, was it? QUBT for the breakdown, below 5.89, below $6. I'll add that one to the watch list too. You know, why not? Let's do it. QUBT below 6/589 for another short opportunity, same as IONQ. So watching this one also. Now let's go to the large cap, the mega cap. Momo wants me to talk about Moderna. Moderna's set up for a short yet? Not yet. It actually bounced from 41, which was the setup I talked about yesterday actually. I said Moderna, as long as it holds above 40, you can look long, and Moderna didn't even get down to 40. It just bounced off of 41, gave you a long, exactly as I said it would do yesterday. So once again, Prastradamus strikes, but now I don't know what's gonna happen. I can only predict you know, at best 1 day in the future, or I can give you 2 scenarios just 1 day in the future based on how previous day's action played out. But then, you know, the next day, your guess is as good as mine. 41, it can continue to hold, but if 41 breaks now on Moderna, that's a great short, because you can see how good of a consolidation 41 has been on Moderna. I don't think it's a bad idea to put this one on the watch list and just have an alert set up for when 41 comes back into play. If 41 actually breaks, then you know, you can talk about some sort of a trade opportunity. But if 41 doesn't break, you don't have to worry about it. You just walk away. You don't trade it, you know, unless your name is Momo. Then yeah, you trade it. Okay, and my niece was screaming for a second over there. Moderna. So if 41 breaks, easy short. Only care if 41 is breaking for short side. Otherwise, I don't care for a trade. So priority on the stock is very low. mRNA in the blue color. Let's go to the higher priority names over here, such as Amazon. Amazon took out 230 today, closed at an all-time high by 26 cents higher, but made a new all-time high at 231.20. Still looking very bullish, but if you ask me, looking overextended, right? Looking a little overextended, but the whole market right now is just going absolutely crazy. You got Apple that you can also say overextended, actually gave you a crazy reject candle from 251. So if Apple looks weak below 250, you know, I think the shorts are still potentially a trade opportunity over there. And I really think tomorrow is going to be a big down day on the market, because some of these stocks have really gone crazy. Like for example, Google. I am not
going long Google tomorrow as a breakout. There's simply no breakout longs on Google tomorrow. The only longs I'm going on Google is a dip buy. If it dips into 190 and holds above 190, then I'm going long. There's no way I'm taking a breakout on Google at 190.50 tomorrow, no matter what. It's just ridiculous. Look how extended it is on the daily. If it pops and fails, then I'm ready to go short. That's a setup over there that I'm more excited about. And that's actually the name of the game across the board. If you look at Tesla after hours made a little bit of a run up all the way into, what is it, 429, 430 actually, the all-time high now on Tesla. 420 funding secured, yeah, forget that. We're at 430 on Tesla. Google at what, 193, 194, 195. 195.61. So Google at 195, Apple at 250. You got some of these big names setting up for great trading opportunities. At the same time, you have AVGO, who is partnering up with Apple, who's looking to go join the rest of the big boys in the all-time high territories. So AVGO, if I remember correctly, is actually a very highly weighted stock in the S&P 500 and in the QQQ. Right, so AVGO getting ready to potentially break out of its all-time high above 186.50 and join the big boys on the all-time high party. Everyone but Nvidia and Microsoft at the moment is having fun at the all-time highs. It's kind of sad for the other ones. Nvidia just struggling. Microsoft still not able to close above 450, but if Microsoft can get above 450, that's going to be a trading opportunity to keep an eye on. Still, I would say very overextended, but this is a way better long above 450 than it is on Google into 196. It's just crazy to punch Google 196 breakout long. I'd much rather look for a dip buy, 193 dip buy, 192 dip buy. I'm not looking for a breakout. But when it comes to Microsoft, I'm okay with taking a breakout, because at worst, I might have to risk $10 per share if I'm a swing trader. For Google, you know, you're risking the whole day's range, which is the crazy. That's like a 5% range. If you're you know, risking today's candle on a breakout tomorrow, you're risking about a 1% range or something, right? So it's a different story when it comes to Google at the moment and when it comes to Tesla. So I'm not looking for a breakout long Tesla. I'm not looking for a breakout long on Google. What is Meta? I'm also not looking for a breakout long on Apple. Amazon a little bit, because Amazon had a little bit of a consolidation, a tiny consolidation, showing you that buyers are stepping up. And then Meta is a whole different story compared to all of them. Meta actually had a little bit longer consolidation in the all-time high and looked weaker when all the other stocks looked strong, and now when all other stocks are looking strong, Meta is looking strong also. So Meta is a whole different story. I'm not looking short Meta at all. I'm not looking short Meta at all. If I'm looking to go short Magnificent 7, I got Tesla, I got Google, I got Apple, I got Amazon. You know, there's a bunch of other stocks out there that you can attack on the short side if you're interested on that. So look out for those. APMG. This stock was a great short squeeze today, and I actually called out the short squeeze perfectly for my Discord people. So APMG set up for a short squeeze. Sadly, just not when I was long in it. I was long right here. I captured the first move, and then I got trapped on the second move, and I gave back all the profits I made on the first move. And then sadly, the second move over here was the real move. So APMG now going in the after hours much higher to $3. So that obviously makes things a lot more fun on this name. We'll see how the stock opens up in the pre-market. What does it do in the pre-market? More gaps, and if it gaps higher, potentially sets up for a short tomorrow. Unless more shorts are trapped. If more shorts are trapped on this name, that just makes things even more fun. APMG. Let's go see what the short float is real quick. The float is very low. Short float at the moment is 1.2, 24 million market cap, 9.54 million short share float. So very small company. Another name, SSRM. This one Well, what is this? SSRM. Are you a small cap? You are a 1.6 billion market cap, 200 million share float. So you're not really a stunk. You're kind of a stock. Your forward PE is 932. That's not bad. So you don't make money, but your forward PE is very cheap. What do you actually do? SSR mining, non-energy minerals, precious materials. Are you gold? Copper, marigold, CB. What the fuck is CB? Puna? What are all these? Oh, those are places? Copler. Oh, these. Well, what am I even reading right now, dude? Pretty old company, 1946 established. I mean, look, the forward PE is cheap. Their recent earnings report was not great. Not sure what the news catalyst is for causing the stock to go up the way it is. And you can see the rise in volume is actually not that big. There's not a lot of rise in volume. We are very, very we're still lower than the earnings day volume on SSRM here, but it just keeps on slowly trickling higher every single day. So watching for this one for a mean reversion at the moment, but looks like there is some sort of a real buyer coming into play. So if there's a real buyer, the stock is easily, you know, breaking out of today's high and holding above today's high on any dips, then I'll look long. But right now, with the way it's set up, I think extended on the daily, looking short for the most part, unless it's holding yesterday's high as support. Okay, so yesterday's high, which would be today's high, 833. What is today's VWAP? Also, what I want to see is, actually, we can just go back to the 5-minute chart and kind of just, no, let's go back to the daily chart real quick because I need the date. I need that date, December 3rd. December 3rd is when shit started to really pop off on the stock, right here. Okay. It just kind of breaks out right into pre-market going into the open. Just breaks out. Breaks out. Breaks out. So you're either taking the yesterday's high breakout or you're not getting along. So you're either taking yesterday's high breakout or you're not getting the long. That's basically just how that the long has been setting up. There is a breakout over here that you could have got the long. You're not catching the long. Realistically, you're not catching the long. Maybe you would have caught the long here. That's actually a big volume right there. That's kind of where the thing started to really start getting heated. But I guess that would kind of be in my calculations already. My calculations. All right, that's kind of where things started getting heated. Volume spike, we have that covered. Yeah, I think there's a good short here. I think there's a great short here. Ideally looking for shorts. If stock breaks out above yesterday's high, could just blast higher. Could just blast higher, honestly. Today's VWAP, $8. Just grind it into $8 all day. Wow, insane. Someone's buying this stock. Someone needs to own this stock at the moment, apparently, and they're buying tons of shares. So, obviously, keep an eye out for it. And, ladies and gentlemen, that is your watch list for tomorrow. Let me just color Apple, as purple, Amazon as purple, Google as purple, Tesla as purple. So those are all important names for tomorrow. And we have quite a bit of names for important. Oh, I almost forgot. How can I forget? We got an IPO tomorrow. IPO tomorrow, TTAN. Also, I'm kind of thinking about, switching my mind on stopping the streaming aspect, because I do like streaming. I do enjoy streaming to you guys. Also, I enjoy doing my homework in a way where I'm talking out loud and I'm thinking out loud. It just makes me more accountable. It makes me really think as to what I'm saying and what I'm looking for, and vocalize it. And when I'm vocalizing it, it kind of helps me remember it the next day. So it's like it keeps me accountable and helps me from cutting corners in my homework routine. So I can see the good behind it also. But it's just taking away so much time from me. I need to figure out a bunch, but I need to figure out other things. Fuck! Okay, anyways. IPO. So the IPO actually, surprisingly enough, is getting an upgrade on the price range. Originally ranged between $52 to $57. Also 500 million offer amount. Now it's getting upgraded to a 700 million offer amount, and a price range of 65 to 67. And there are articles floating around that the stock actually might open up into $71 or above tomorrow, up above 71 or higher. So look, if you ask me, the higher the stock opens, the better, because I don't think it's a legitimate enough of a company to look for an extremely long, but I could be wrong. Let's go read about what the company does. What do they actually do? Modernizing a massive and technology underserved industry, an industry commonly referred to as the trades. The trade consists of the collection of field services activities required to install, maintain. Did they say AI? Okay, bring technology. Okay. Install, maintain, and service the infrastructure and systems of residences and commercial buildings. Tradespeople like your local plumber, roofer, landscaper, HVAC technician, and others who are employed in the trades are immensely skilled and extensively trained. They are the essential, unsung heroes who work tirelessly to ensure that our needs are met where we live or work, ready at moment's notice to leave their families in the middle of the night to go across town to help others. The trades constitute a large, expanding cornerstone of our economy. There are hundreds of thousands of trades businesses providing essential service in every corner of the country. Based on internal analysis of industry data, we estimate the customers of trades businesses, which we refer to as end customers, spend approximately $1.5 trillion annually on trade services for homes and businesses in the United States and Canada alone. So you provide technology for trade companies, or people who provide, or people do like trades, but what software do you actually provide? The Service Titan? Are you like a Fiverr for trades? Is that what you are? A Fiverr for trades? That's what I'm guessing you are. Established in 2024, sorry, that's the IPO day. Founded in 2020, IPOing in 2024. Let's go look at some financials. Market cap 4 billion. So not a small cap, technically on the paper, not a small cap, right? 4 billion market cap. Millions of shares, 90 million shares, and they're offering 8.8 million of that to the open market. IPO lockup period probably of 180 days. EVPE. Do we have a PE? Not available, so they don't really make money. Price to sales ratio 7.2. More fancy numbers that I don't really care about. Paid 3.9 million in taxes. Gross profit margin 63%. Operating profit margins negative 24%, and profit margins at negative 34%. So not looking good over there. In the last 12 months, operating cash flow was 12.37 million. Capital expenditures more than what the operating cash flow is, giving a free cash flow of negative 14 million. The company has 148 million in cash and 245 million in debt, giving them a negative dollar per share. In the last 12 months, Service Titan had a revenue of 685 million and a 233 million in losses, so a loss of 2.59. Where's the money going, dude? Service Titan does not appear to pay any dividends, obviously. All the other numbers are not available. And if we go to revenue, 31% revenue growth year over year, apparently. Okay, that's actually not a bad number if you ask me. For a growth company, for a company who is on the verge of small cap into medium cap, you know, they're growing decently enough. Revenue per employee, $200,000. Almost 3,000 employees. Market cap, we just talked about that. Quarterly, annually, trailing. So looks like 2023 they made 467 million, and 2024 they made 614 million. So not bad. Okay, not bad. Revenue history, not bad at all. They're actually growing. So might not be a heavy short if you are blindly looking to short this company tomorrow. Might not be a heavy short if you're blindly looking to short this company. Cash equivalents year over year, you're down cash growth by 21%. All right, I'm going to change my mind a little bit. But what do they even do? There we go. Operating system that powers the trades. We kind of read all the other stuff already, I guess. This is where I go into Grok. What does Grok say? What does Service Titan do? Cloud-based software platform designed for field service management, specifically tailored for businesses in the home and service, commercial service industries, blah blah blah. Field service management, mobile app for technicians. That's what I thought. So the platform includes a mobile app that allows technicians to access work orders, schedule, and real-time updates. This facilities. So they provide the software for other companies who hire the tradespeople or the technicians who actually come to your home and do the technical work for you. So they provide the managing, the logging, the service. They provide the software for those companies, I'm guessing. Okay. So it's not a Fiverr. It's not Fiverr. They are somewhat of a more legitimate software. Who do they work with? I don't recognize any of these. I don't know if you guys do. Service Finance Company, Authority Brands, Johnstone Supply, Lennox. I guess I know Lennox. Podium, Answer Force, BDR, Thumbstack, Synchrony. So quite a bit of companies. Other notable partnerships, marketing and consulting agencies, technology integrations, QuickBooks, Sage, Intag, Zapier. I know Zapier. Oh, they integrate with. Okay, gotcha. Maybe go back to SA real quick. Don't they usually give me their website? There we go. Service Titan. Thought so. So this is not a Fiverr for tradesmen. These are legit software. So the company might be legitimate. Maybe it's not a no-brainer short tomorrow. Maybe it's not a no-brainer short, but this will be something that will be very closely watched for price action. This will have easy trades tomorrow off the open, even dollar levels. The price discovery, your price discovery will be at the same time as mine. So your guess is as good as mine. Well, ideally, when I trade IPOs, I just do it off the price action. It's going to be very fun. It's been a long time since we had a big IPO come out, and this one is going to kickstart the IPO sector, which I think is going to be very, very, very hot for the coming year. Let's talk about tomorrow, however. Tomorrow we got a couple of things that could move the market. Today CPI launched the market higher. So tomorrow we got PPI, initial jobless claims, and the 30-year bond auction. So more things that could potentially move the market again. Keep an eye out at the 8:30 numbers. Keep an eye out to see how the market reacts again at 1 o'clock. That 10-year bond auction today and the 30-year bond auction tomorrow will obviously be very, very indicative as to what the market will do. And the PPI and the 8:30. CPI today, tomorrow PPI and initial jobless claims. That could also shake things up in the market and move it higher or sell it back down. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all she wrote today. Hopefully you found some levels, some trades, some opportunities off of my watch list, and you know, made it a version of your own off that, and you slay it tomorrow. Let's kill it on the market. Let's make this bank. I think Tesla short is a very high priority tomorrow, so I'll be watching that. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the final stream of the year. I'll say final stream of the year because I have not decided if I'm done streaming yet. Final stream of the year. I'll see you guys this Thursday. Make sure you tune in for that. Until then, good luck. TraderPrad out. Peace.
Screen over here, back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow, as you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.